So, like, you guys were talking about who's paying, right?
Yeah.
So, who actually pays? Let's forget about Valentine's right now. Let's worry about everything else.
Regular?
Yeah, let's go regular, then we'll jump into the Valentine's Day part because, you know, you were saying, I don't know what you were saying before. Just watch the video next time and then you guys will figure it out. But I don't know right now. But, yeah, who pays?
Definitely me.
So when you first started dating,
when we first started dating,
yeah. So who pays? Do you fight? Like the man always wants to pay, but do you fight? Do you do that song and dance to be like, yeah, yo, let me pay this time. Don't worry about it, honey. I got it. But you really don't want to pay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah. Well, not even that though. But I feel like we try and do it like 50-50, but sometimes it'll be like one person like 5 times in a row, and then the next person will go. It's not really like 50-50. It's like kind of just whoever can beat the other person to it realistically. Like, because he'll typically do credit, I'll typically do debit. So it's like whoever clicks the button has to do it, because otherwise it'll decline, and then it's kind of embarrassing having that. So,
okay, so just say for instance you're at McDonald's.
Yeah.
You're gonna fight. You're at KFC. You're gonna fight. You're at Swiss Chalet. You're gonna fight. What if you're at an upscale restaurant? You still gonna fight? Or are you gonna be like, yo, let the man take the lead?
It depends. Like,
sure. Like,
because there's a lot of girls out there. I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but put in the comments below. I'm gonna get in trouble, but a lot of girls will put the card away when it's a higher end restaurant.
I feel like as a female or as anyone, like you shouldn't be going unless it's like explicitly said that either he's gonna pay for you, and if he hasn't said that, then it's just like have your own funds for it. Like maybe not even to cover the whole thing if you can't afford it, but like just to cover your portion of it. Just so
or I'll cover drinks or something like that.
Yeah, or even like a tip or like something like that. Mm-hmm. But even if it's like, if he's not explicitly said like, okay, like I'm going to take you, like for example, like if he's not like, okay, like get dressed and taking you to Harper 60 and like it's on me. If he doesn't say it's on me or like it's like my treat or something like that, like I feel like you should never be so relaxed.
A lot of times they're not going to say that it's on me. They're like, hey, let's go out.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens.
And I feel like you should still have like some type of like money, like even if like you have like $40 and you're going to a high-end restaurant where like the cheapest thing is like $60, I feel like you should still like somehow contribute that or like let it be known before then.
I think that like for guys say, we're not gonna always say like let's go to like Moxie's on me or my treat. Like so it's be like we're gonna go and it's just like we already have the full intent of already paying because we're the one inviting you to come and go with us on a date. So, like, if you really like that girl, then of course you're going to want to pay for it and you're going to want to spoil her and treat her the princess and stuff. So, like...
Well, that's the point that I was going to say is that, like, personally, if I'm asking you out or, like, hey, let's go somewhere, I'm fully paying.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is. If we're just going for ice cream or, you know, or we are going to a high-end restaurant, the CN Tower, whatever it is, I'm going to pay because I'm asking you to come out with me. But if you're asking, you're going to pay?
Like,
that's the way I see it. Because you could have stayed home, you could have saved your money, but you're kind of doing me a favor by coming out. Whether you're a girlfriend or friend or whatever it is, you're still taking time out of your schedule to come out, but you could have stayed home. Mm-hmm. So if I'm asking you out, it's on me to actually pay. And and normally I pay. But
if the girl's saying like, oh, I'll come pick you up, let's go get ice cream and stuff, like, leave my wallet at home.
But you have your phone though.
Yeah. She doesn't have to know that. But anyways, not for real though. Like seriously, I'll bring my own money. But like, if she wants to pay, she can pay at that point. Depending on the girl, but like if I really like the girl, I don't like, especially the girl that I like, I don't like her spending money on me.
So that's what I want to rewind right now. So is that in the beginning of the relationship, obviously the guy's going to pay, or the girl's going to pay, whatever the case is. The dynamic is going to be set regardless of what it is or who pays what. What happens when the relationship gets older?
I feel like...
Do you think it's a lot of people are 50-50 or they're like same mentality like we just talked about, like if I'm asking you out, you pay kind of thing?
I feel like it depends on like the different situations. Like for example, like if we're talking about like a trophy wife who's like a stay-at-home mom, like obviously she's expecting her husband or spouse or whoever to like be like the breadwinner and pay for things. But if it's like a regular like both 9 to 5 working people, I feel like then it should still be 50-50. Mm-hmm. But I feel like kind of like the expectations are different because in the beginning, obviously, it's typically the men pursuing women. And I feel like that's how it's just been for, like, society for, like, decades upon decades. So I feel like you're just used to, like, men being like, okay, I'm going to pay for this. And it's kind of also engraved, I feel like, in, like, your guys' heads too, that like if I'm gonna be serious with a girl, like I have to show her that I have the funds to be serious about her. And then sometimes if guys don't and they really want to pursue the girl, like they either like work a lot or like they just kind of just like budget themselves so they can have that like persona. But then obviously sometimes like when you do kind of like get to know them and kind of like their finance stuff like that, I feel like then you kind of figure it out and kind of you figure it out. You do 50-50, like you become like mature and like especially because we're young, like you know what I mean, especially compared to like now, like different generations, like everything's a bit different. So I feel like especially for like right now specifically, I feel like let's say you're in like a 4-year relationship right now, I feel like it should be 50-50, especially with everything going on like the economy right now. Like it should be 50-50 because you can't expect him to pay like let's say you guys live together, like you know, rent and everything or like mortgage or whatever, plus take you out, plus do this, plus do this, plus do this. And then it's just like not fair because then you have like your own money and not even like let's say like you guys go out and like he pays the bill, you're not gonna pay for like the parking. Let's say you go like downtown Toronto and like parking is like $20. If you don't have like $20 to pay for the parking and like he pays for the dinner, I feel like there should be some balance. Like obviously not every time just pay for the parking, but some type of balance between the two.
Well, in my dating circle, the girl will always fight. She will always run in front with her debit card or Visa card or her Apple phone. You know, try to tap before me. But and most times, yeah, it is a back and forth. It is a 50-50 thing. But most times the guy will fight more to pay.
Yeah, to assert his dominance. Though.
Yeah. I don't think it's dominance. I just think that we just want to take care of you guys at the end of the day. I don't think it's anything with dominance. It's just that, you know, I want her to come out with me and not have a second guess of money or can we afford it or anything like that. If I'm asking you out, you're going to have a good time and you're not going to be thinking about the financial struggles that may or may not be included in that evening. So you could actually have a good time. Because say, for instance, if I ask you out and, you know, okay, yeah, but now in the back of your head, you don't have a lot of money. Yeah. Oh crap! Okay, now I gotta choose what I gotta eat. I have to. Okay, I can't afford that right now. Okay, I do want another drink, but I can't have that. So like, you're always gonna have that in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
And maybe still, even if you're financially sound, you're still gonna have that in the back of your mind. But at the same time, though, you're still gonna be like, okay, I could get what I need. Yeah. And then I'll pay for gas or something along that. Whatever the case is.
Yeah.
It'll balance out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 50-50, like it'll balance out. Like sometimes it's not always that way because I feel like I was saying, like if you're a trophy wife, like you don't make your own income, so you obviously can't afford like certain things, or your spouse would that is the breadwinner. And I feel like it this depends on like the situation too, like the age of the couple, like a lot of different factors. But I feel like typically in like my generation, like most females expect the guy to like pay for them. And I even saw this one video today where this girl was basically saying like her boyfriend whatever was broke because he didn't want to pay for her and her 18 friends is like dinner. And so that's just like the mentality.
I seen that. Oh my
I saw that a while back, but
yeah,
it's a new one. Okay.
Yeah,
a while back.
So it's like, how are you gonna have that mentality that your boyfriend, spouse, whoever is broke because they don't want to pay for your 18 friends plus your dinner?
I did that once.
You paid for 18?
Not 18 people, but what it was is that we actually went out for dinner and her friends couldn't afford it. Like, not that they couldn't afford it. It's the same thing I was talking about. Like, they're picking and choosing what they're getting and stuff like that. And you could see it. It was evident that, you know what, they didn't have a lot of money. So I'm like, you know what, just get whatever. I'll pay for the bill. And I actually did that, which is not a bad thing. But at the same time, like, I get where you're coming from.
Better,
like, that's more of me volunteering to do that versus being voluntold.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, but that's actually
I know, like, what you did is like, no, what you did, like, that's nice. Like, that's
nice,
good.
yeah.
But I'm saying what's crazy is, like, me just going out to dinner and being like, hey, I pay for my girlfriend or whatever. Like, pay for myself and then be expected to pay for 18.
Well, at the same time, like, I don't know if anybody else does this, but, you know, please comment below. But, like, even when I go grocery shopping, I calculate in my head. Okay, bananas is this much, this is that much. Okay, so and then I average it out by the time I get to the till. You know, just an idea. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I have 20 more bucks to spend and I get something stupid. Like, so it's the same thing when you're going out for dinner. Like, we're not going to tell you this, but if you look at the menu and you get the mac and cheese, okay, so that's $30. Okay, cool. We're not saying that, oh shit, she got something for $30. We're just calculating subconsciously in our head. Okay, that's 30. She got that for 10. Okay, her meal's gonna be $50. Right. And I don't know who else does that, but I do that.
So you're gonna go expecting to pay maybe $200.
And then all of a sudden it's 700. No.
But for two people, I feel like that's even outrageous. like a 300 bill for 2 people, like depending on the restaurant.
It's depending where you go.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like if you go to like a Moxie, it's like it shouldn't be that high unless you're like tasting all of the alcohol.
I spent way too much money one time. Then it was bad.
Well, how much did you spend?
Not Moxie's, like a restaurant. The most I've ever spent.
Yeah.
$750 for 2 people.
You're insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What restaurant was it?
We went to the CN Tower.
Oh, that's still
but I got like a $200 bottle of wine. Like I'm not making a lot of money, guys. I just love to enjoy myself. But no, it was just a dinner. There was 2 bottles of wine. It was a bunch of stuff. I had to get that seafood platter. That looked way. I saw that one guy got. I'm like, I need that. So it was $100 and something bucks. It was crazy.
Yeah, no.
But keep in mind though, that's not something that you do every day. Like we went there for a special occasion, and you know what? Like screw it, let's just spend the money. But like I want to be like, hey, what are you doing on Monday? And then just go do that. Like, no, that's not gonna work, and that's not an everyday thing as well.
But I feel like it also comes with like budgeting. So like I know for a fact after that, like you were watching what you spent after the $700.
It's to a certain degree, it was. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because like okay, now we got to figure out gasoline, insurance, my cell phone. I could push that back.
Like what can I put on the credit card? Like,
I don't need Netflix this month.
Password sharing, don't do it, guys.
Oh my goodness, that's even a whole thing in itself.
No, they took it off. They said it was like an error or something like that.
Oh, they did?
Oh, really? We'll do another video on that later. What do you think about password sharing? But
just even having someone's password in general, like something you'll hear about later on. Videos. But yeah, I feel like for dates, but also too, like if you guys go out like a double date, like let's say because we have been. What did you guys?
Double dates.
Why did you guys both stop? So no, my question is like I feel like we've both like been in a situation where like we'll go out like on a double date and then like the other couple will pay separately. But like we'll pay together. Oh my
goodness. What are you talking about?
Okay.
How would you react to that now?
So how would I react to
you going out?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's say me and Lavelle, hypothetically, we go out with you and like someone else, any girl. And you pay for her, but then you see that Lavelle pays for himself and then I pay for myself. But we all agreed to go on a double date.
Not the case.
It was a little bit different, but
so for me, I would think a double date would be like you pay for your girl or you pay for your guy. I wouldn't really include them, but like if we have apps or something, maybe like hey, we'll put that on my bill, or or maybe the drinks put that on my bill, just because we're going out. We made a decision to go out together, so I'm not gonna let them take the whole bill. Pay for your meal, but maybe the apps and the drinks I'll take under my bill. Yeah. But you're saying these individuals paid for individually?
Yeah.
So they so you used the POS pad 3 times.
What's like the POS
like the pin.
Yeah.
Like you two paid, then pay.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
You don't see?
I mean, some people like they could have spoken about that before.
Yeah, they could have.
They could have. Like you guys were there. Yeah. Like, do you think that do you think that they spoke about it before, or do you think it was like in the moment, like shit?
We know the situation, but we're not gonna put it out there because it's not our business. But it was just like a topic.
No, I'm just saying, like, did you see on their faces, like, oh shit, like I need to pay for myself, or it was like they both brought out their cards?
Yeah, I plead the fifth. I'm not gonna incriminate myself.
Well, it is what it is. But I mean, again, with stuff happening these days and like the way how money's rolling and stuff like that, like I don't think that's out of the norm.
Yeah.
Like maybe a year ago it would be a different story. Like, yo, what are you doing, dude? Like,
yeah. Like, but do you think
if she was hot, I'll pay for her. But anyways, that's besides the point.
Do you feel like as like a bro or like a friend, like do you feel like you would check your bro or friend about that, something like that? Like, let's say that like hypothetically me and Lavelle are out, and then he sees that like.
So I pay for myself and.
Not even that though, because like you said, like it depends on like the situation. But let's just say like. Let's say you actually take a girl out on a date, but like she got something like super expensive, and like let's say the friend couldn't afford it. Would you be like, okay, bro, like gotta pull together, or like how would you guys give each other advice in that situation?
You're talking about like in the moment, right there and then, or are you talking about after the fact?
It can be both.
You'd have to read the room. Like bros have codes, right? We look at each other. He could look at the bill and be like, like, you know what I mean? And then I'll be like, all right, okay, I got you. That kind of thing. Like it'll be like very, very quick, right? In terms of females, I don't know. I don't know what that will look like.
No. Like, it's just
not in terms of that dialogue between us.
Oh,
I'm not talking about that. I'm like talking about like if you see the bill, would you be like looking at her in a certain way, like, oh shit, I can't pay for this.
Like the guy looking at the girl, or your friend, like
a
me
girl
looking
looking to the other girl.
You guys gonna definitely have a little look. I feel.
Yeah.
Let's say we're sitting here. You know, you're there, you're here, and my date is over here, or my girl or wife, whatever it is beside me, and the bill comes your way, and you open it, and you look at it, and then you look at her. Like, is that a thing?
It definitely is a thing. I feel like in some situations, I feel like, let's say that we're all at dinner, for example. Like the same example, we're all at dinner, let's say. And the bill comes and like she just places it here because let's say we're sitting like this, like, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just the closest one. So like it's kind of like the bill that's not in the book, but it's just like out so you can see the total. And I look at it, I would definitely look at her and just be like, especially if I know what each person got, and like hers, let's say like your wife in the situation was the highest, and like let's say like you were expected to pay for like them two or like the whole table, let's say, I feel like I would definitely be like.
But it's all depending on the dialogue too, right?
Yeah.
Because just say, for instance, it drops in the middle and I dive to pick it up. Like, you're not going to think anything of it. It's going to be like, okay, whatever's taken care of.
Yeah.
But like, if you look at the bill, are you going to be like, damn, he loves me, or damn, he wasted so much money?
Both. I feel like it depends on the situation. Like, if you're just ridiculously spending money, even though like we've had money conversations, then I feel like it's just like you are not really seeing like not the issue, but you're not kind of seeing like the bigger picture, like why we're budgeting, why we're doing X, Y, and Z. So
the way how I see this, and I might get flack for it, is that you only live once. Like there's a backstory with me, but I'm not going to say now, maybe later on, but money is not everything. Yeah. You could save for everything that you want and save and save and save, but at the end of the day, like when you leave, you have nothing. Yeah. So I rather create memories than zeros in my bank account. Somebody said that. Maybe I quoted it wrong. I don't know. But I'd rather have the memories than the zeros in the bank account. Yeah, and like, that's what it is. Like, that's my mindset as well. Like at the end of the day, like everyone's gonna get old. What are you gonna show for it? Like you can show money, but it's just like that's all people are gonna want to come around you for. Whereas if you have like memories and experience, like people are gonna genuinely want to come around you because you have that knowledge. And once you have knowledge on something, like no one can ever take that from you. 100%. So it's just like I feel like personally, me, I would have memories over like 1,000 trillion $1,000,000 at the end of the day. Keep in mind though, it is nice. You can do more with it. For sure. Personally, but like, yeah, we know your. I feel like
not that I'm a money over memories kind of person. It's the fact that I feel like for me, for life is to be like. To explore all of life and see all of the world, and is that YouTube for that, bro? Like, we're on YouTube. I want to be like free, like financial freedom. I want to be rich to the point where I can be like, okay, I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Paris for like a year. So what if that doesn't? Go to London. If that doesn't happen, what's your backup plan? I'm gonna live my life to the fullest, regardless. But I want to optimize the time while I'm young to be able to put myself in a position where I can live that lifestyle. So there's two ways that people look at it. Look at it that you work hard when you're young, you save all that money, buy what you need, or you do the opposite way. What you were saying is that explore. And when I'm old, I'll worry about that. I don't want to be old and stressing because I want to live a long life. So why would I do that? Yeah. I'd rather stress while I'm young because I'm young.
You're ready. But I also feel like just knowing like the actual like biological effects of stress and like all of that stuff, I feel like especially when you're young, like it stays in you longer because you're so like used to it and like you thrive of like the adrenaline of like stress, like you feed for stress. Whereas opposed to like if you're older, like you already know that like you've been through X, Y, and Z, and like you're not really stressing.
That's why I just try not to stress though.
Well, you can always try to do something, but it's never like
stress, anxiety will always be there, and like. For the longest time, I've never had anxiety, and all of a sudden I have it. So it's like, ooh, where did that come from? But it was always there. Everybody has it. It's just what triggers it, right?
Yeah, and I feel like for your situation, it was definitely like Well triggered.
Well, this is well triggered, but there's gonna be a YouTube series on that eventually. So comments below if you do want to hear about it, but it will be a YouTube series eventually.
It's definitely something you want to hear.
I think God's provided us enough, what's the word? No, not resources. Coping mechanisms.
Oh.
Completely
different way.
Yeah, coping mechanisms. Some people maybe like drinking stuff. Like, I think I found mine that makes me pretty chill. And so I feel like it's being at peace.
Which is what
Peace is like a very important
So
thing.
what coping mechanisms do you have?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's completely legal, of course.
In Canada.
It's like, yeah, it's like greens and just like veggies.